The index and match functions are a great combination to have when you want to extract multiple columns from a single row. But then what if you want to extract multiple rows based on a particular value? So what do we mean by that? So over here, I have a ship name that has been mentioned over here, and against that ship name, I wanted to find the order ID, customer name, and the salesperson. So it does return one record for us. But then if we go in and check out the shipments data sheet, I've actually filtered it by that ship name. So if I go in here, I've actually filtered it by the ship name, and I can see that there are about 5 rows retrieved. Right? It starts at 1380 and the last one is 1422. But if I look at the formula over here, it has retrieved only one row. That is the order ID 1380. So by using index and match, we can only retrieve one row, right? So if we want to retrieve multiple rows, we will need to use a combination of different functions, right? So in order for us, before we get into that, it is important to understand the concept of arrays, right? So it is the array formulas which will help us actually achieve this. So we need to understand what arrays are and how it functions, okay? So we'll use a very simple example to understand arrays. So arrays basically means a list of values. Okay. So to explain this, we have used a very simple table over here. So this table is called, okay, we have named it array. Okay. And then I have 2 columns in here, month and unit sold. So what we're going to do is over here, I'm just going to type in arrays, the name of the table, right? Array is the name of the table, and the column name is units sold. Okay. So the moment I type it in, the values in the units sold column get selected. Now if I press enter, okay, because see, we are not doing any operation, right? So it returns a error. Now what we will do is we'll apply the function F9 key inside the formula bar. So by clicking anywhere within the formula bar, press the function F9 key, we get to see the list of values. Look at that. So we have 20, 30, 10 and 10. That's right. So we get to see that within the formula. So it is shown within curly brackets separated by semicolon. So this is the concept of an array, a list of values. Okay. So we can actually, what we can do is we can do a lot of operations within, using arrays. So let's do one simple little operation here. That is, we're going to multiply the entire array by 2. And I'm going to execute this. And you can see that it shows a number 40. It doesn't make much sense, right? How is the entire array equal to 40? The thing is, the cell only shows one value. What is visible to us is only one single value. So if we need to see the entire list of values within the array, we can just double click it and then run the function F9 key again. So once I do that, I can see the result as an array. So I can see 40, 60, 20, 20. So what has happened here is every value within the array has got multiplied by 2, right? So this is how I can actually use an array to do certain kinds of operations. Okay, this is when I want to do a calculation, but let's say I want to do something else. I want to check for a particular value. Okay, I want to check if Jan is contained, if the month Jan is contained in these months over here. Okay, so I'm going to do a very simple operation here. I'm going to say equals Jan, that is C9, whether it is equal to the array. All right, so the array column, and I'm going to use month, right? Month is the column, and I'm going to press execute the formula. Okay, I get an error once again. Let me execute the function F9 key once more. And look at that. I actually get a list of Boolean values within an array. So what does this mean? We are trying to check a condition whether Jan is contained in the array or not. And I did not use any if statement, nothing of that sort. I just directly said Jan equals the array. So it has returned true, false, false, false. So what does this mean? So it is true for the first row, correct? So Jan is the first row, so it returned true. And for the remaining 3 rows, it returned false. So this basically helps us understand how arrays work in the background. And so once we understand this, we'll be able to follow the next series of functions very well.